Hello, my name is Stephen Taylor, and I will be rebutting the contention today of my opposing counsel, Joe Bauer, for Chefmaster Inc. Now, my opposing counsel today has indicated that it's their position that a warranty was not formed because the terms were explicitly stated and because my client was an informed buyer. I would like to address these two issues separately. First, as to the terms explicitly stated. My counterpart on the other side is correct in saying that there were sales terms which detailed the capabilities of the stove. There were owner's manuals and examples available by which she would have been able to discover the fitness for service of the Chefmaster stove. However, the reason that my client did not exercise any of these abilities to do so was that because she was told explicitly by the salesperson Leona at the store that it would work for her purposes. She asked, she specified what she needed. She said, I needed to be able to use this for delicate sauces at very low temperatures, and the salesperson said that yes, it would work for that purpose. Because of this statement by the salesperson, my client did not investigate the matter further and took her at her word. It is true that my client had the opportunity through other means, such as the in-store demo or the owner's manual of the stove, to investigate further. But again, she opted not to do so because of the assurances granted to her by Leona. We would contend that Leona created the existence of this warranty with her statements. Furthermore, when she was at the store and she did use the stove, she chose to make a steak instead of sauces to test the stove's capabilities on the other end, once again, having already been assured by Leona, the saleswoman, that the stove would work for the sauces. That is the reason she didn't investigate it further. Now, my opposing counsel's second contention seems to be that my client was an informed buyer in the field. Now, it's true, my client is a very skilled chef who has run her own restaurant for a long time and has worked in the restaurant industry. However, this does not make her an expert on stoves and on the capability of stoves and gas burners and all of the such. So, my client relied upon the advice of somebody who she thought was more informed than her, Leona. My client's decision to purchase this item rested mostly on the expertise of the salesperson. My client was asking many different questions to the saleswoman. She pointed out the issues and the features that were incredibly important to her, the things she would be doing with it, and she was told that it would work. My client relied on that information when she made her decision. She relied on that when she opted not to test the sauce-making capabilities of the stove, and she relied on that when she opted not to look in further when she was told that the stove would suffice by Leona. So, as I said previously in my last post, the warranty of fitness for a particular purpose must show that a buyer has a particular purpose, which Gianna was very explicit about. The seller must have had reason to know about the purpose. My client spoke with Leona several times about what she needed the stove for, very specifically. 3, the buyer relies on the seller's judgment. Again, this has been something that I've been hammering home, but it was the reliance on the statements by Leona that led my client to not investigate the matter further and to take her at her word. As a salesperson and an agent of the company, she should have the expertise required to be able to answer my client's questions on the matter. And if she doesn't, then she should be able to say that instead of making a misrepresentation about the effectiveness of a grill. Furthermore, the seller must have known of the reliance. With all of the questions that my client was asking, it was clear that she needed this information. And then the fact that my client didn't further investigate the issue after having her worries assuaged by Leona, she didn't investigate further. So it's clear that my client relied on it. So, in conclusion and in summation, we contest the fact that my client was an informed buyer of this product, and we would argue that she was the opposite. She didn't know what she needed, and she went into the store looking for advice as to what that was. As to the terms being explicitly stated, the terms in the sales agreement, we have no reason to dispute those. However, we would argue that in addition to the terms of the contract, that Leona's statements created an implied warranty of fitness for purpose, and that that warranty was breached by Chef Master. Thank you.